I like that picture so well. This one.
Yeah. With the Outback shirt on.
Yeah. You like that
You
shirt.
about to throw another trip on the ball. I can't really do an Australian accent, I guess.
Have y'all ever eaten at the Outback Steakhouse?
I have, yes.
Yeah, it's been a long
Is it
time.
quite good?
It's very good.
Did you recall?
I think it's okay. It's
You been to Golden Corral
Pretty
anytime
average.
recently?
No,
no, I haven't been in a
They're
long
good.
time. Yeah, it is.
They got good catfish and rice with cheese sauce.
Yeah.
That's what I usually get when I go.
Which restaurant is that?
Golden Corral
Golden?
buffet. They
That's
got these
where-
good catfish and then rice with cheese sauce.
In my rodeo watching days, you know, all the cowboys and me is dressed as one.
Yeah.
And I had that old white pickup I leased from the county judge,
Oh,
Mr. What was his name? Oxford, W.H. Oxford, the county judge, leased to me for several months one time.
really?
An old white step-side 64 model Ford pickup with a long rod for shifts, you know.
Oh,
And I would go out there with all the cowboys headed for the rodeo.
oh.
And I guess it's still open on the loop out there.
Hmm. You have to kill your own meat?
No, but we would get these lapping over the plate steaks
Yeah.
that custom ordered as we went through the line.
Oh. Hmm.
That was some great eating.
Nice.
And David and I went there a couple of times.
Did you ever go to Jake and Dorothy's?
Oh, sure. That's
Yeah.
just about all my life.
Right. The best chicken fried steaks in the nation.
Yeah.
And then they were also the ones the first ones that came up with the waffle fries
Mm-hmm.
that originated there.
Well, they started, I think, in 1949.
Really?
And I used to, when I was 9 there, after the local game, Friday
Yeah.
night game, Dad and I and Joel Graves and Roger, we would go there, and that's where I heard the song Big John
uh-huh.
by Jimmy Dean.
Really?
At 9 years old.
Yeah, I like that
It
song.
was on the jukebox nearly all the time. Number one hit that year.
That became your theme song.
Uh-huh. Well, I wasn't that big. He said 6'6". Weighed what was it, Tony?
245.
245.
Oh.
And everyone just said hi to Big John.
Yeah.
And when a right hand fist of his sent a Louisiana man to the promised land.
Oh. Oh.
And no one knew where he came from. But at the end of the song, at the bottom of his mind, you know, lies a big, big man.
Yeah.
Because he saved many
Yeah.
miners
Yeah.
from a
That was a very
Gulf
good
Stream
song. I
fire.
like it.
Uh,
And I
fire
like the
there.
way that Tennis,
Jimmy Dean.
Tennessee Ernie Ford sang it.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee did that. Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
Mother playing 45 singles when I was a baby.
Oh, really?
Of Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra,
Mm-hmm.
Pat Boone, you know, all the classic 50s
Yeah.
stars. Even Tony Bennett, who's still performing today at about 97 years old. Tony Bennett, who did the classic song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco.
Mm.
What is your earliest memory, John? Can you think of?
Is that picture of me at about 3 days old? It's not in the book there, but I'm lying back on the swaddling clothes at about 3 days
But
old.
you don't remember that.
I've-
You've seen the
well, I've
picture.
seen the picture.
I know
It
that, but
registered.
what is your earliest memory, though? You know, I was.
guess that of you sitting on the porch there with
Oh.
me on your knee.
Oh.
And I
Mhm.
was 2 and you were 18.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of fingering something like a braid over
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, because didn't you like to mess with hair, or
there.
am I
Well,
thinking
when I
of?
was very young.
Oh, I'm thinking of Dylan. I think.
Mother tended to dress me in gowns and treat me like a little female. When I had that picture in the collection of me waddling away from Grandpa Walter,
Oh yeah.
our dad.
Yeah. Right.
He's sitting there leaning
Papa.
forward. too.
Hmm.
But at an appropriate age, like 3 or 4, Mother turned him over to Daddy. And Daddy took me for my regular boy's haircut
Mm-hmm.
at Wade and Aubrey Holly's place,
Yeah.
the Majestic Barber Shop.
Yeah.
And I think he only paid like maybe 50 cents for a 10-minute haircut that made me look all boy.
Yeah.
And I began to admire the daddy and brother as much as I admired sister and mother.
Mm-hmm.
So I was raised a balanced child
Yeah. Right.
with understanding.
Yeah, because you had curly hair when you.
Yeah,
Were little
big
bitty,
blonde,
curly and
big
blonde.
curls.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never will forget that picture that's not in that collection of me leaning out the window of the Blue Goose car.
Oh yeah.
You know, that
Oh, I
in
remember
about
the Blue Goose.
1952.
Yeah.
I'm leaning out the window just enjoying the air
Hmm.
as we're pulling in our drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got blonde curls there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was about 1952.
Oh, okay.
And Dad owned the Blue Goose.
The Blue Goose.
That's
Yeah,
right.
the
I'd
old-
forgotten that
old-
was the name of it.
And what kind of car was it?
Oldsmobile.
Oh, an Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
Those are nice cars. There's a step below a Cadillac.
Yeah, Tony's into racing. I
Yeah,
forgot to
yeah.
tell you. He has 3 umbrella hobbies in his TRS corporation.
Really?
Cartoons and
Yeah.
racing and playing the
For
guitar.
playing the guitar.
What's the first one?
Cartoons.
Or cartoons?
Animation.
Oh, do you do cartoons, or you
I
just
do
like,
some,
do you?
a little bit.
How
Yeah.
many views
Are you-
worldwide?
Are you an
Uh,
artist then?
32,000.
He has 32,000 views worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
of
Cool.
his original cartoons.
So you do draw them?
Yeah, some of them I draw. Some of them I have programmed that pre-drawn.
I see.
And
Thank
he
you.
likes to play decent shows like Tom and Jerry.
Mm-hmm, right
And
here.
hear from him instead of all that binge watching by McBride. on
Hi
those
there.
old
Hi.
This is we're with John. Would you
Oh,
like
you
to
are?
say hi
Oh.
to him? Now we're having a nice visit.
Yeah, okay. Just put me on speaker. Sorry.
I've got you on the speaker.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hi, John.
Hello, Gwen.
Hey, you sound good.
Yeah, I'm getting lots of strength back, Gwen.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
When I had that violent fall the end of September,
Yes.
to cap off the horrendous year we've been in, I
Yes.
didn't know what it would lead to. All
Oh
of
my
the, all of these 2 months
it
of
down.
lying in bed.
To hold it, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Sensitive speaker. Yeah, I've been pumping up my mind, in Hunt Regional Hospital and back here at ICT.
Good.
I've been feeding on the scripture a lot.
That's excellent. Yeah.
And that fall completely changed my life.
Mm.
I'm going to start out a new career at 72. You know that I'm 72 now.
Yes.
Be
You know,
seven- be
we're
seven-
almost exact exactly 10 years apart, you and I.
That's right. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And my new career is going to start. Is going to start in writing children's books.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll find a publisher, but I'll have the joy of creating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether
That would be lovely.
whether I become rich and famous or not, and then I'll branch out into more adult fare.
You could make one for, write one for Liam.
For Liam,
He's 2 years old now.
is he your only great grandchild?
No,
So
I
you
have
five.
I have 8.
You have
If you
eight now.
if you count them all, I mean, they're most of them are blended.
Oh,
know.
she shut up.
No,
No,
she's still
okay.
there.
She's still there.
It just goes.
You're
so
still
it
there,
saves
aren't
battery.
you, Gwen?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize your mom, my sister, has 8 great grandchildren now.
Yep.
For-
None for me yet, but
Not yet.
I'm
Well,
hoping someday.
how's Lawson doing?
She's doing good. Yeah, both kids are doing good. Dylan's actually in Dallas right now, or
Oh.
maybe he's in Fort Worth today. But yeah, he's been there over a week. He's seeing all the family we have in the area, and then he spent time with Chris's family, and of course with us on Thanksgiving. And then this weekend he's hanging out with a good friend that lives in Fort Worth. So he's doing good. Lawson's working and enjoying not going to school anymore. And yeah, she stays busy. She's got a very active social calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well-
yeah, they're both doing good, but no potential mates in the future at this point.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure she'll get the right perfect man in her 30s, maybe.
Well,
When
that's
she-
what I'm praying for.
What that's when she'll be more settled
Yeah.
and know what kind of man she wants.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she's working for that salon, you know, in helping people's hair pieces,
Mhm.
selling hair coverings.
Yeah. It's extensions actually. It just adds to your hair.
Yeah, Shirley was trying to explain that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish
A
they
lot of
would
girls-
make them for people like me. You know.
Mm-hmm. Or Glenn.
Yeah, they have like now a thing called the halo, which kind of circles the back of your head, but they don't have silver yet. They don't have older women.
They're missing out. I
Silver
tell
or
you.
white hair.
They really are. They're missing.
Well, even I'm
Well-
getting a little bald spot right in my crown. It's
Yeah.
not growing, but it's visibly there.
Yeah, it
And
tends to
I-
happen as you get older, you know.
I'm just fortunate to have the kind of healthy hair I have at 72.
Uh-huh.
Most
Yeah.
men my age, you know,
They're half bald.
Yeah.
have lived past the biblical age already.
Well, I think I don't know about Mama's family, but I guess Papa's family, you know, he had hair. He
Yeah,
never was bald. Never.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So you probably got that from him too, and Mama's side too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
When you write your first children's book, send me a copy.
okay, I'm going to try to get the publishing company Enchanted Lion Books in London, England, who published my book on philosophy, 100 of the world's greatest philosophies. And on the back is a sketch of a lion, you know, closed mouth, lying down. And
Yeah.
the company goes worldwide with all types of categories of books.
Yeah.
It's called Enchanted Lion. Will Farrar and Smith of London, England.
You know what? I wish that you would have been able to publish, or not publish, but to that game, the political game
Yes.
where you had the.
Congress in action.
But it,
Yeah, is that what
a
it's
bill,
called?
a bill-
Congress?
How a bill goes through Congress.
Oh man, that was incredible.
Whatever
I
happened
remember
to
you
that?
teaching me about that. Was my first introduction to politics.
Oh, did you and I play?
Oh
that?
yeah,
Oh,
you
I
played.
couldn't
We played several times.
Oh,
Yeah, you would teach me how it all works.
and I used those little model figures.
you
I
did. You
bought
used the-
in Washington,
Yeah,
D.C.
it was perfect. You had the perfect spot for each one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the White House. The
I know, and
Supreme Court.
I
Amazing.
wonder where it went.
Amazing.
Do you have no idea
No,
what
I
happened
don't know.
to it?
Mother kept telling me to market that later.
Yeah.
As it,
Gwen, did you ever see that thing?
No.
It was called Congress in Action. It was a description, kind of like a Monopoly game. And I used figures from my little chessboard I had bought in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, on the Jamboree trip in 1965 when I was 15.
And you had all the different buildings, that would represent the Congress. I think you had one. I think you had like the Lincoln building,
Lincoln Memorial.
the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Memorial. I think you had all those on
Yeah. And I had bought those little copies in a curio shop in Washington D.C. on the National Jamboree trip. The chessboard that was quite expensive. It was, I think it cost 18,000 cruzeiros, Brazilian money.
Oh,
It had a beautiful board, painted veneer board that folded in the middle,
yeah.
and all those gold and silver, resembling gold and silver chess pieces about 2 to 3 inches tall, fit in slots on the back of the chess game, and then you folded it and slid the cover over the part where the pieces were.
My goodness.
And I had that here and played several of the guys' chess here. And
You had it here?
Yeah, at ICT.
Well,
And-
maybe it's in storage somewhere.
He's talking about a
it
different
just
game.
began to lose pieces,
Oh,
That's
and it
different.
just disappeared.
Oh.
one day. I wasn't worried because I've had years of enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I began
Bless
to
you.
teach chess. I began to teach chess at night
Teach
to
chess.
people like our scientist, collegiate scientist here, Robert Jones. He beat me one night in 10 minutes,
Really?
and I resolved to just start teaching the fundamentals to guys here. How you could checkmate their king with your queen in less than 4 moves. I mastered that art.
Gwen, what are you doing today?
Well, I had plans to put my Christmas lights up outside, but woke up this morning and it was raining, and it's supposed to rain all day.
Rain in Arizona?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had that.
you look like that.
Yeah, we
Great.
get rain, but I mean, this one, I usually watch the weather, but I haven't been watching it this week.
Need to give that to
Got a big-
Tony.
It's not a thunderstorm, it's just nice slow
No,
rain.
he can play
It's all
those
coming up
on
from,
his DVD.
Like,
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Hold on.
from the southwest, and it's just crossing over Arizona, and we're just going to get it all day long.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm enjoying the rainy day, having a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
and I was working on my Christmas tree, so maybe I'll get the unfortunate thing is all my lights are in my car, so I have to go out in the rain to get
Oh,
my
yeah.
stuff.
Uh-huh.
Maybe there'll be a break and I can go get it.
Yeah.
So you were a rolling Piccadilly circus, huh? Like in downtown London.
It rains all the time.
Gwen, have you had any snow out there yet?
We don't get snow in Phoenix. I mean, obviously up in Flagstaff because it's so, 3.5 hours north. I mean, they get snow up there because it's up in the mountains. But down here, I mean, I can tell you twice in all the years I've lived out here that there's been a little bit of dusting North Phoenix, like Cave Creek, Carefree on the north end of Phoenix, but never here where I live in Tempe, because I'm on the southern end of Phoenix, on the southern side. So, I mean, yeah, on the south side of Phoenix. So, yeah, we don't get snow. We get cold sometimes. We get down to 32 overnight, but that's rare.
Well, that's the way it is here at ICT, near Quinlan. You recall it's near Quinlan, east of Dallas. And we've usually had just a small dusting. But 3 years in a row out here, in the middle of the 2000 teens, you know, we might say about 2012 to 15, we had a 3 to 4 inch snowfall 3 years in a row.
Wow.
Wow.
And that was our drifts out over our pasture land were beautiful, just smooth decks of maybe 8 feet high
Wow.
of snow.
Did you go walking even through when the snow was out
Oh,
there?
sure.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
had
sure.
my stray dog Cactus, a stray little cattle herder dog,
Really?
black and white, that I named Cactus.
Cactus.
and Buck, that big wolf German Shepherd that wandered up here
Mm-hmm.
and was completely tame.
Yeah.
Half wolf, half German Shepherd.
Yeah.
180 pounds.
What'd you
Yeah,
name? What'd
He
you name
and
that
I
dog?
would go tromping through the snow in the back pasture here,
Oh.
the back wilderness back there, just tromping through the snow. And that kind of hunting in a way. Yeah. Gwen?
Yes.
Yeah, I have returned in many ways in my mind to my Comanche tribe. Now that I know I'm probably 50% Comanche, you know, maybe as a marriage and a breeding sign. I know my dad, your granddad, was mostly German and mother was Scotch-Irish. But because of my early training in the Comanche tribe, I've come to at least appreciate the Comanche legacy. And I've been doing a lot of reading in history books about the tribe. That's how I've always felt close to the outdoors, camping, hunting, fishing in Erath County and in that Comanche Trail County.
You're not gonna do any scalping though, are you?
No.
Okay.
No, Gwen, I'm not going to do any scalping.
No scalping.
Well, I guess if you're part Comanche, that means that we are too, because we're related.
That's right.
At
I think
least-
we all have a little bit of everything in
I
our
wonder-
blood. You know, now,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like all of the years that go by, and everybody has a little bit of everything.
Well, no wonder we like to go
We're-
camping so much.
We're actually,
Yeah.
Tony, here's Sweetie.
Gwen, we're a
Oh,
tribal nation because every American, I suspect, has at least 1/32 native blood.
Right.
Well, I was told that Mama Shaw had a full-blood great-great-grandmother,
Oh,
Comanche
Comanche.
Indian. And she had really high cheekbones. You do too, and I do too, you know. So,
And the right color of eyes,
well, I don't know what that is.
kind of a minor gray blue, or green gray blue, dominantly green.
Well, I got hazel eyes from Mama, and
And mother had, at times I looked at her in the eye, and she had kind of purple eyes.
Really?
Lavender. Her mother did.
she had gray eyes, and they would pick up the color, whatever she was wearing.
Yeah.
Mhm. And Daddy had real blue eyes.
Gwen,
Yes.
do you have any kind of house pet there with you? House pet?
No,
They're
no,
with
we don't
you?
yard, so all we have is a patio that runs the length of our condo. So, and it's got a sidewalk, mostly concrete. I've got a little bit of a flower bed. I don't, Dylan had a little dog that we raised as a family, and then when we moved over here, sometimes I would get her little dog and keep her sometimes, but she was really old and we had to put her down in 2020. She was 16 and it was time for her to go. So yeah, I miss having a pet, but it's just not a very conducive place to have one where we're living right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well,
So I wish I had one.
incidentally, do you hear from any of your friends back at the Wolf Station in Dallas?
Nobody's really there anymore that I know. That was been, gosh, over 30 years ago that I worked there. So yeah, not really. I mean, I have a lot of friends in radio here that I've kept in touch with, but not so much in Dallas.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it'd been over 30 years ago.
I moved out here in 91, end of 91. Been a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's been 30 years.
Yeah.
About.
Well, I remember staying up at night with my little radio, hearing your show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all in the family were so proud of you
Yeah.
for being a celebrity, worldwide celebrity.
Well, I actually have some news that I haven't shared with
Oh,
Mom or Zane yet.
Okay.
I accepted that job I told you about, Mom, the one that was a production tech.
oh yeah?
Yeah, I talked to the guy yesterday. It's, like I said, it's not a lot of money, but it, I think it might build into something where I can, get more involved in doing voice work, which, is where you can make some decent money if you get enough clients. So I start in January and,
Oh,
we'll see.
great.
It doesn't
Good.
pay
That
very
is
well,
good news.
But
yeah,
it's
it's good news. And
something.
I've got to get something else, and I'm still talking to that guy in Nashville about the chart thing. That I'll have to do more than one job to, if I keep that one, if I do the tech job. But yeah, I'm glad to have something on the books,
Right.
It's like, okay,
Yes.
here we go.
especially in this time
Oh,
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Who's there? Is
Good to
Paul
hear.
there? Is that you, Paul?
Tony is here. His
Okay.
roommate.
It's you, Zane. You sounded like your brother for a minute.
Oh, weird. Interesting. Well, I've got some good news too.
Excellent.
Yeah, yesterday went to go see one of the dealerships in Granbury because we're trying to get a van donated to the
Oh,
school.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was one particular one. I visited with about 10 companies now, and this last one that I visited, he said, "Yeah, I think we should be able to help you out." So I was just like,
What does that mean?
"Wow, thank you."
Yeah, what does that
Yeah.
mean? Does that mean a little money to put on
What that means is that in mid-December, he is going to meet with the owner, and they are going to game plan for the next year, and they have all of our information, and they're going to discuss how they can help us.
And one of the
it's very possible they're gonna. It's very possible they're gonna just drop us a 12-passenger van because that was that was the very first question he asked me was, "Oh, so you need a 12-passenger van?" Nobody else had asked that question. They just was like, "Oh, okay, well, we'll pass it along. We'll see what we can do." Yeah, yeah. So just praying that that's what happens. It's very possible.
one of the greatest things about this is that they can put their name on it,
Yeah.
somewhere.
Well, that's the name of the
marketing.
game when you're talking about marketing.
Right. Yeah. I've heard that our insurance will go up because the targeting. Some people actually target company vehicles in order to, because they know that they're, better, highly insured. But if
And does that include all maintenance?
you mean from the, well, possibly, because they own, they have a shop.
In
So
a
yeah,
dealership.
that's where
Well,
we
they
would take
use
it.
as a write-off, a charity write-off.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'd want to
it
get it maintained at their shop.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
It would probably be a lease type situation for them, but they would write it off. Yeah.
yeah.
That's fantastic. Great job.
Yeah. Well, I'm just really praising God because I've been just praying before I go in and meet with anybody. I just pray that the Lord just, leads me to the right person and gives me the words to say, and
That's
just want to
great.
give him all the praise and glory for everything. So definitely. So because I was about to leave this job, I was done because I was not working well with the owner, and she wouldn't giving me any of her time to be able to help me to do my job. And so the business office manager, though, we get along very well. And so basically we talked with her and said, I really need a partner in this. And she's very good at this kind of thing. She's had a lot of experience with it. So anyway, I'm just very thankful that it's gone from, I was 99% sure that I was going to have to leave to this. So I'm very thankful.
That's good.
Yeah. Yep.
By the way, Gwen, have
Yeah.
you got a newer car or SUV these days?
I have the same car I've had. I was talking to Chris the other day. I think we bought this car. It was a used car, and I've had it since 2008 or 10. So I can't remember, but
Oh.
yeah, it was a nice car when we bought it. It was a one-owner older man who passed away, and it only had like 30,000 miles on it. So I don't know if you call it an SUV, but it's a big box vehicle. It's a Lincoln Aviator. So it looks, I guess you could call it an SUV, or what do they call those? Not an SUV, but
Crossover.
Crossover.
a what?
Crossover is.
They don't even make these cars anymore. They stopped making the year of mine. Mine was the last year that they made. But I love it, and it's we've had to put some money in it, but it's holding up so far. I'm knock on wood, say a prayer. I can't afford a car right now.
Knock on wood, say a prayer, cross your fingers.
Well, that's the trend, even of the millennial generation, is to keep a car or truck for as long as possible.
Well, I guess I was ahead of the game because I've always been that person that kept a car. I'm just not into cars. They don't really mean that much to me. I mean, I like having a good car. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't go, oh, look at that car over there, and that's the name of that car. I don't even know. I don't even know car names. I just don't pay much attention to it, So
I don't
but
think
I always kept cars a really long time.
I don't think that you and Tony can be friends now.
No, probably not.
He's really into cars.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, what do you drive? What's it called? What color is it? I don't even notice.
It runs or it doesn't
Terrible.
run. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a car. It gets us there, and I'm like, good, all right, good.
Well, Tony Sawyer, my new roommate, who's 31, and a brilliant mind. We're equal intellectuals, and he has an AA degree in design drafting, computer design drafting
Wow.
from Paris Junior College, and he's never really had a full-time job, because he's kind of a typical millennial. It's not saddled with the.
How do you feel about that, Tony?
No, that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
And he's even like us baby boomers. 'cause I moved back home in the 80s, but mainly to be a caretaker for mom and dad. My mom, your grandma. And, well, I lost track of what I was going to say.
Well, Gwen, you would really like Tony though because he's a conservative. He knows a lot and he agrees with us on our views.
He and I are of one mind, even though I'm more than twice as old.
Well, he's certainly an improvement over the last several
The last several
roommates that John has had.
But I've had to literally
A great
run
improvement.
Run out of here. Tony is ideal, and I hope he stays as long as possible.
Yeah.
Well, we do hope you have a grand Christmas.
Oh, thank you. We'll be staying here in Phoenix. We'll just be doing our thing
Yeah,
here in the desert.
in the desert,
Yeah.
having dessert. And I'm going to be taking the feast here at ICT, as you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's too much of a danger of falling again.
Right. Well, you
But-
sound good on the phone.
Yeah,
I'm encouraged to hear your spring in your step.
yeah. Well, first, after 4 or 5 months in the hospital,
Man,
I began to get my mojo hand going, and I got my spirit back first. You know, kind of a go army. Since I was in the Corps at Charleston, you remember coming with your mom to watch me drill
Oh yeah.
there at Charleston at the Corps Cadets. And I got my Go Army spirit back. And I've got
Good.
my Comanche blood back. And
Yeah.
I got my spirit back first by a small spark, in the middle of my solar plexus.
Yeah.
And then I've got my voice back for the most part.
Good.
It's a good, strong voice most of
Good.
the time. And I'm gaining a little weight every day
Yeah.
because I'm back to eating more solid food
Yeah.
and not doing so much without. Just
Yeah.
drinking a milkshake type drink.
Is that somebody's phone ringing or
yeah,
something?
it's my
Oh,
eye.
your alarm.
Eye
Oh, your
drops.
alarm.
It's a
Mhm.
video call.
He must
No,
squeeze the
it's-
alarms.
She's got an alarm set
Yeah.
for her eye drops that she needs to
I
take.
have them so often.
Oh gosh, it's really raining now.
Is it
So
pouring?
weird to have this kind of rain.
Is it pouring?
Yeah, I mean it's just coming down a little harder.
Mm.
It's a perfect day to do like, I guess Christmassy type stuff. Like just stay indoors and
Gwen?
feels like winter.
Gwen,
sir.
do you have some kind of fireplace in your place there?
Yeah, Mom's seen it. She came for Christmas a couple years ago. I've got one of those little. It's a fake fireplace. It's one of those. What do you call those, Mom? Like a.
Synthetic?
Not a
Fake
wood-
fireplace.
It looks like a
Fake fireplace.
wood burning stove, but it's electric, and you just plug it in, and it has the fake fire.
Yeah, kind of like a J.P.
Simulated.
Margaret's.
Yeah, it's just a fake one, but it looks like a little wood burning stove. It's really
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, that's right.
And it
Yeah.
is, and it does put the heat in.
It does. It
Gro-
definitely, warms things up.
Growing up, Gwen, it was always my job from about 8 years old on up to carry out the ashes in a wheelbarrow through
Oh,
the
yeah?
living room and dump them on the garden for fertilizer.
Oh yeah.
And then building an entire fire every night with a big backlog and then the newspaper crumpled up under the iron grate. You remember that old red brick fireplace
I do.
at the
Yeah.
house, at the house.
And then they had one outside too.
Yeah. And we had that barbecue pit
Yeah,
that Dad
that's what I'm
built.
thinking about.
I was thinking the other day of all those hot summer days when I would come in from work at Piggly Wiggly in my high school years, and Dad would have a whole setup of delicious burgers and all the makings from the garden, and Virginia and Larry Baltzell would come over. And
Good times.
we'd have a backyard party.
Yeah.
That was in the summertime mainly.
Yeah.
And I would come in from work at Piggly Wiggly during those summers
Yeah.
in high school. Gwen, did you ever, I was thinking about this the other day, did you ever go to Tarleton and major in a degree there?
Yeah, I went to all 4 years and I majored in music with a business management minor.
Oh,
I graduated when did I graduate? 81.
oh, I see. I remember now that you
Yeah.
were a music major
Yeah.
and that you were in the choir.
Yes, I was.
Herb Teat.
Uh-huh.
Herb Teat was the director.
That's right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, I didn't want to. The only degree they had at the time was a teaching certification for music. They didn't allow you to graduate any other way with music majors. But I went in and about halfway through my second year, and I told Dr. What was her name? You know who I'm talking about, Mom, the head of the department. She had been a nun.
Jeanette Kavanaugh?
No, she was there, but it was the head of the department. What was her name? Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. Anyway,
Oh,
I went in and talked to her.
the Catholic woman?
She was a nun previously. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Chris Rosner.
Rosner. I
Yeah,
would not
Chris.
have remembered it. I'm
Chris.
glad you remembered it. You guys are good.
Chris
That's
Rosner.
amazing. Your memory is amazing, John.
I know.
That's astounding.
My memories are coming back in an avalanche.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just incredible.
But I told her, I said, Dr. Rosner, I'm going to have to change my major because I don't want to be a teacher. And she said, well, now, wait a minute. Let's see what we can work out. And she worked it out so that I could graduate I was the first student ever from that music department. And I graduated with my music as my major. And she said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I think I told her I wanted to be a nurse, but I was already so far in, I didn't want to throw all those classes away. So I said, well, I want to go into the business side of music. And she said, well, minor in business and major in music, and we'll let you graduate. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember Dr. Don Morton?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
teacher of classical piano.
Was
And-
he Michael Morton's dad?
Yes.
Yeah, Michael Morton.
Yeah, I didn't remember Don as much as I remembered Mike, because Mike was our choir director in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. He used to come
Yeah.
into Sunjoy Barbecue a lot,
Yeah.
where
Mhm.
I worked for a year.
Yeah.
I worked for 80 cents an hour.
What
For
was the
1
name
year.
of that family that owned Sunjoy?
Bill Bain, brother Bill Bain.
I was trying to think there was a woman, his wife, but don't remember her name.
Carol Bain.
No way.
Guess I don't know. Guess I
Yeah.
don't remember.
And they had the two daughters. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Oh, goodness.
who-
I knew he was
who
going
Bill,
to do it just
their
like that.
father, called Bonnie, Levon, and Lenore. He called her Nora.
Mhm.
And they were raised practically around that Sunjoy Barbecue.
Right.
I used to play guitar for both
Yeah.
those girls when they were very young. And they were having a party with their girlfriends in the back room
Yeah.
at Sunjoy.
Uh-huh.
Of course, that was all taken down to build that shopping center
Right.
where South Fork and then Bostock's Bar and Grill used
Yeah.
to be. I assume maybe some of that's gone now.
Probably. Oh, Tarleton, it's just changed so much over there. The school,
I know.
It's gobbled up
So
all of that
different.
area.
Yes.
completely changed.
I wonder if the original McDonald's is still there.
It is.
I don't know.
It is. I drove by there not
Oh,
long ago
really?
to take because I took. We had an intern working with us, and he lived in some apartments that were right over in that area.
Oh,
And yeah, it's still there.
Well, it's on the opposite side anyway, so it wouldn't have been touched as much as the other north and west sides. I think. Doing that.
I've told there's several people that I work with that are from Stephenville that go to Tarleton or have gone to Tarleton, and I've told them about Papa and about his role in changing the school from a 2-year to a 4-year and its connection to Texas A&M.
yeah.
It's amazing.
He preserved the name Tarleton.
And preserve the name. Yeah.
Instead of Texas A&M at Stephen.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Wow.
Recently, just lying in bed much of the time, I've let my mind drift back to good old beloved Tarleton.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Excuse me.
remembering some of
Goodness.
the names so well.
Yeah. Right.
They come to
Yeah.
mind immediately.
John, are you doing any physical therapy?
Oh yeah, with the limited staff here, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get up at least once a day, and lately I've been being rolled in the wheelchair into my family here for meals, in the dining
Good.
room. And Sandy has remodeled the building somewhat. We now have copy of Italian travertine marble floor in the dining room. Just a white gray model floor, modeled after Italian white travertine marble
Oh, that's nice.
in the dining room. And so there have been little improvements steadily in the nearly 31 years I've had here. Next June starts my 31st year.
Wow.
And my birthday, remember, is March 28th.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could send you a card and the rest of the family, but I just can't write, and I have no access to cards right now. In my golden years to come, that's going to be one of my main time interests. That's going to be one of my main time interests, is writing all the family and remembering all the birthdays and some of the anniversaries. I've neglected that for 5 or 6 years.
We need to get you like a memoir, like Papa wrote.
Kind of like that. When I'm able to sit up at the window, in the wheelchair,
Yeah.
and write for an hour.
Well, but even better is to have like a recording device and just talk, because then that way, because if you write it out, it might get pretty tiring, but you could
that's
just
right.
talk it out
Yeah.
and
Well,
record it that way.
Tony has turned me on to the newest thing, audio books.
Oh yeah,
Audio books is
Sure.
wonderful.
Tony has written entire books.
Yeah.
They're theologically, political theories. His latest book, that's very professionally done and with his voice sounding apart. His latest book, what is it on Tony?
Atheism,
On
the
Google?
religion of evil.
Atheism.
Wow. Dang.
Atheism,
Is that
the religion
is that on your TRS Sawyer
It is,
account?
yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He is so brilliant.
On YouTube.
Tony is so brilliant.
He really is.
He's always working on something
Wow.
mentally.
We learn from the best.
No, well, I don't claim to be the best. There are many people with greater minds. In fact, they have a new show on television. How to interact through your laptop, the TV, and talk to some of the greatest minds in the world.
Oh, we need to get you set up then. Have them call in to right here.
Well, I'm pretty
ICT.
practically minded. I'm not a bookend nerd, with thick glasses on. No insult.
Well, he isn't either.
I'm pretty practically minded. I believe in bringing school books down to the, who said, she said level of the community, and who's with who, and whose car is parked next door behind Jackson. You've heard that song?
Probably,
Whose
yeah.
car is parked next door? What is it song? Who's heating who?
Oh, yeah.
Who's with who? And who gives a damn, whose car is parked next door?
I know the Chattahoochee song.
Well, are y'all under any compunction of time at all to get back?
Well, we're going to
Yeah,
go
we-
see Taylor and his family.
Well, great.
Got some Christmas
They're
gifts to bring
located-
in.
They bought a home where?
They're over in, what is it?
Princeton.
Princeton.
Is that
So-
a suburb of Dallas?
It's close to
Allen.
McKinney.
McKinney, that's
Yeah,
right.
McKinney.
Yeah, so it's
Well,
pretty
that
much
would
just
be-
straight
Northwest.
West.
Of you, west of you.
west and maybe a little north.
On that, 69?
I don't know. I'll have to GPS it.
When
I'm here.
do you
I've
need
been
to
to
go?
Mesquite Rodeo
We're getting
twice
ready to leave.
in the years
Okay.
I've been here
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
on
say,
charter.
You want to?
What?
I said, yeah, I'll say goodbye.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I love you, John.
Yeah. Love you too, Gwen.
It's really good to hear your voice.
Yeah, well, I'm getting stronger. I wish I had that song playing every day. Eye of the Tiger.
Oh yeah.
That sound theme to Rocky.
Well, you can remember it in your head and sing it to yourself.
Yeah, sure. I saw at least 3 of the Rocky movies. And
Yeah.
they're just now coming alive as inspiration. So that in my hours of trial, this great ordeal I've been through,
Yeah, yeah,
I had no idea what that last fall would lead to.
yeah.
Just weeks and weeks of slow recovery.
Yeah, it makes you realize how important it is to have good health,
Oh, sure, Mother,
when you get sick.
your
Yeah.
grandmother, my mother, used to say, John, if you've lost your health, you've
Yeah.
lost everything.
That's right.
You lost your income. You
But
lost
you
your
don't have to
social
lose your
life.
faith.
But don't lose your faith.
Yeah.
Well, Gwen, keep the faith, but
right.
most importantly, give it
That's
away. Most importantly, give it away.
That's a good
Amen.
thing to
That's
say.
awesome.
I came up with it. Okay,
Well,
see.
pray for you all the time, John.
Yeah, talk to you next time.
Okay,
and
love
ta-
you.
Take care of that old brown guitar I gave you.
I still got it.
Okay.
All right, love you. Love
Shal-
you guys.
Shalom.
Bye.
Bye. I hadn't talked to Gwen since last Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think, she was sick last Thanksgiving with COVID. You remember she came in and was helping in the kitchen, and she said, "Back up, John, at least 6 weeks." And she was under the blanket.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's right.
Party.
Yeah, that's right. She had to leave. She had to go into the back room.
Yeah, and she put on a
Yeah, you're right.
mask, a
Mhm.
double
She
blanket.
was sick.
That's
She
right.
was really sick.
I was sick this year. I didn't even go to Thanksgiving.
I prayed like all get out that she would be with us at least one more year. Because she told me she's 63 now.
Yes, she is.
She's about 9 years younger than I am.
That was good talk.
But she's not changed a bit since
No.
she was
Yeah.
17 or something.
Yeah, she just looks the same.
And still is perfect.
Yeah. I love what you said. Keep the faith and, more importantly, give it away.
That's right.
You know?
That was so good.
That's an original with me. And